All right, shalom, shalom. Um, this the brother Bakala Wallam. Trying to share this video I got. Basically, it's from the video game slash movie Resident Evil, the um, the T virus, and there's a guy here. He basically explains how it was created. You know, how I'm bringing it out because there's um there's a study going on right now that they did as a doctor. You'll see it in the next film. There's a doctor. He's trying to create a cure for this C19, and basically he's talking about T virus. The T cells, which is the white blood cells in your body. You know, it'll come together once the two videos come. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. You know, and double honors to the apostles and elders that I learned this truth from, the men at Great Millstone, and the brothers with the like-minded doctrine. I'm gonna just let this video play. It's like 10 minutes, a little over 10 minutes. Hope the body gonna be edified by it.
The T virus, or tyrant virus, also known as the clay virus, is a mutagenic virus created by the Umbrella Corporation. It was derived from the progenitor virus, designed to take advantage of its mutagenic properties for the development of a new form of biological weapon known as BOW, bioorganic weapon. A living creature genetically modified for use as a killing machine. At one point near the end of the 20th century, the progenitor virus, also known as the mother virus, was discovered by Lord Oswell E. Spencer.
And I want to add this too. I'm gonna put it in the video that the CDC also has something on their website about preparedness for a zombie apocalypse. It's just kind of strange that they have this listed on their website as there's a possibility for a zombie apocalypse. Just wanted to throw that out there too.
Sir Edward Ashford and James Marcus. These three men had a certain economic position and decided to begin research upon the virus. Most of the research was carried out by Marcus, as Ashford died in 1968. And of course, Spencer was already occupied by his burgeoning chemical corporation, Umbrella. Marcus had little resources to pool into the investigation, until Spencer agreed to employ him as a researcher and later director of his corporation's training facility. This would put the vast resources of Umbrella into his hands. Friction would come between Marcus and Spencer when Marcus demanded more and more investment into his research. He needed resources to perfect and improve what he envisaged was his life's work. Spencer demanded a compensation for the crippling economic demands laid by Marcus. He wanted a virus with a 100% effectiveness rate. The Umbrella Corporation used its finances to secretly develop the virus under the radar of international authorities. In time, Marcus further evolved the virus, creating the first effective bioweapon to be produced in large quantity and be closely studied by the Umbrella Corporation.
I want to put this out there too. It's out there. It's proof that this the virus that's out now, the C19, is was created in the laboratory of Wuhan. And also that they looking for cures of efficacy rate of a high efficacy rate or a high effective rate for the cure of this virus, this C-19. And that's funny. That's going along with this whole narrative of this T virus that was created in this video game slash movie, the Resident Evil. Just let it keep playing.
Adding the virus to leeches, the attributes of both were combined, and the T-virus soon saw the light around 1978. During the years of research on the T-virus, numerous strains were developed in the Arklay laboratory and tested upon one solitary test subject, Lisa Trevor. For years, she was subject to intense biological torture, which, despite all odds, she survived. The T-virus was built like many viruses, but not all. As the cell makes contact with it, inserts its genetic coding into the cell. The cell absorbs the viral genome into its own genetic makeup, which takes over the cell's functions. The cell begins to produce offspring of the original virus. The new viruses are then released from the host cell and infect the neighboring cells, which start the process all over again. The T-virus kills and replaces the dead mitochondrial organelles with a replica of itself. The virus then combines with other cells to produce energy. The energy produced is just enough to power the motor neurons and the basic lower brain functions. Not only that, but this bypasses the entire circulatory system, which makes the heart and lungs redundant systems that can be disposed of. The reanimated host body is then left with the intense need to feed in order to replenish energy supplies, without having to sacrifice its own tissue. Actions taken by the host in this time period greatly resemble that of zombies depicted in horror movies, and are thus dubbed by that name. However, the T-virus can only properly function by consuming the cell in order to produce its energy and to divide myomitosis around the body. This slow breakdown of cells leads to the gradual breakdown of the host, causing necrosis. The virus incorporates itself into the host DNA, which subsequently alters it. This is why creatures such as bees and spiders only have very minor mutation, such as increased size when compared to the human mutation caused by the virus. Should the human host be alive at the time of T-virus infection, all higher brain functions are destroyed. This leaves only the cerebrum to govern behavior. This leaves the infected host with a very animalistic behavior. As the virus spreads, it damages the hypothalamus, and this produces a massive flood of neurotransmitters, enzymes, and hormones such as norepinephrine and dopamine. These effects, combined with the painful symptoms of the infection, induce a psychotic rage, persistent hunger, and increased aggressiveness in those infected. Should the human host be dead at the time of infection, only enough energy is produced to power the lower brain functions. These functions are responsible for the most primal instincts, such as walking and eating. In either case, their late-stage appearance and behavior are characteristics of their namesake, a zombie. Should a late-stage human host be rendered unconscious, the body will lay in a dormant phase, appearing to be dead. In actuality, though, the host is rapidly mutating due to the T-virus becoming hyperactive. Within the time frame of an hour, the decayed skeletal and muscular system is reconstructed into a stronger and more durable form. Development can be seen of sharp canine teeth and razor claws, and fresh blood seeps into remaining skin, giving it a reddish hue. Advances in decomposition and intact eyes become a bright white. Umbrella researchers at the Arklay laboratory have dubbed this stage as a V-act, commonly referred to as a crimson head. As a consequence of this rapid mutation, cellular breakdown hits a critical point where the host cannot regenerate properly and can be killed permanently. If by chance a human T-virus host should survive past the secondary crimson head mutation with little or no damage, the virus may actually strengthen the damaged remaining cells, resulting in a licker, a crimson head mutation taken to an extreme. The closest piece of evidence of this possibly would be the Regis licker, or suspended, that is encountered in Raccoon City's Apple Inn. As the specimens seem to be going through the stages of mutation, results change from a crimson head to a licker. This is evident due to the licking and hanging abilities present in both suspended and lickers, but also the layer of skin still attached along with the majority of human physical traits. In regular lickers, the host possesses a long, powerful tongue from which it derives its name, and enormous claws. The skin has all but disappeared, revealing the underlying muscle, and the brain is exposed. However, it is not known how much more mutation can actually occur past the form of lickers, as all known untampered specimens were destroyed in the destruction of Raccoon City. The T-Virus is capable of applied in the Arklay Mountains facility. Identify the virus as having a protein structure. Description has very little, if any, difference from the true writer's intent. As such, it is likely that any known methods of viral or Umbrella's experimentation, known as bioorganic weapons, with the T-Virus were initiated by direct injection of the virus into the host. This was considered Umbrella's primary means of infection. The virus can be transmitted by water, as proved when rats, which had consumed samples of the T-Virus infected water supply of Raccoon City, caused the historical zombie epidemic. There are some theories that state the virus can become airborne, at least only for a short period of time. However, most of the evidence used to support these theories is simply the use of hazmat suits, which does not prove the virus is airborne. However, of course, the non-canon live-action films have shown that the virus is airborne, though if we are referring simply only to the Resident Evil titles which are in canon, this still only remains a theory. There is direct fluid transmission. Anyone attacked by an infected host in close combat, be it by bite, scratch, gash, or stab, will have the virus transferred to their bloodstream via contact with infected bodily fluids and tissues. The Umbrella Corp believes this to be a secondary means of infection. There are in fact 4 known serums that will cure those infected by the T-Virus, but only in its earlier stages, before it becomes completely active. The first is an unnamed vaccine developed by Douglas Rover of the Umbrella Medical Service of Raccoon General Hospital. This was developed as a last-minute effort to halt the rapid spread of the T-Virus. The second serum is known as Daylight. The actual ingredients for Daylight are T-blood, V-poison, and P-base. Once all of these ingredients have been collected, they can be mixed together in a special chemical mixer. The mixture takes about 5 to 7 minutes to make and 30 seconds to 1 minute to duplicate. The third is a reagent designated AT-1521, developed by the research team operating from within Umbrella's official Raccoon City facility. And
You see that the second antigen known as, vaccine C, that's kind of strange that it's C, that C can, just throwing it out there, it can be for the C-19, the vaccine for C-19. I'm just throwing it out there, not saying it is, but it's just strange that it's the vaccine C for one of the antigen.
there are in fact some prototype antibodies for the T-Virus used by the UBCS. And within the movie world, there is only one, called Antivirus. This is a dedicated, engineered antivirus created by Umbrella. This particular one is only effective if the patient does not have a large amount of the T-Virus in their bodies, or the infection is caught in the early stages. This antivirus was shown in the first and second movie, but its effects were different, and it was developed by Dr. Charles Ashford for his daughter, Angela. I've had a lot of good feedback for my fictitious diseases, especially in the world of zombies, so to continue that, I thought today I would discuss the T-Virus. If you did...
Now that's the end of that video. I'm gonna put this next video together right quick. Just give me a second. This is the second video. I give him the video there. Basically, he says he's created another cure in the form of tablets, and they go into T cells and all that. I just find it kind of strange. You know, kind of and you see how it goes together. I'm gonna let the video play.
Blood collection, check. Looking good. Blood pressure, stable. COVID swab, completed. And now,
I am going to give Mr. Henshaw his second dose of his vaccine.
researchers at the Chan Soon Shaw Institute in El Segundo are testing whether these capsules might work as well, if not better, than existing COVID vaccines.
To have a vaccine that's room temperature, that could be a pill, is life-changing.
This oral vaccine is part of an experimental protocol being tested in healthy volunteers like Matt Henshaw.
Headaches, low.
Can pills alone prevent transmission? Scientists don't yet know, so they're testing 4 different approaches. Some patients get a jab, some don't. Matthew got 1 injection and 2 rounds of pills. Delivering this vaccine in a capsule isn't the only thing that's different. It's being positioned.
As a T-cell vaccine.
Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong is 1 part Lakers owner and 1 part vaccine mastermind. While existing vaccines help create antibodies to the spike protein on the surface of the virus, Immunity Bio's vaccine targets that globe in the middle, a part of the virus less prone to mutations.
And the value of doing so is that we generate killer T cells.
Immunity Bio's
You heard he was saying they developing killer T cells, or the mutation. You see how it goes together with the first video. Somewhat. Like you live in this I'm trying to put it in words. I can't even come. The word is escaping me right now, but basically sci-fi, basically living in sci-fi reality. Seems like, but that's what he was saying. He says a T cell, to fight the T cells of the mutations and like that. That's what this new cure is supposed to do anyway.
hypothesis is this. By generating killer T cells in addition to antibodies to the spikes,
Now you have what we believe is long-term protection.
this vaccine, funded in part by Operation Warp Speed, is still experimental, so safety and efficacy have yet to be
Operation Warp Speed, I'm gonna get some scriptures after this.
proven. But Dr. Soon-Shiong believes there is reason for optimism for lasting protection.
We know from previous SARS-CoV-1 in 2003, people that got infected then have T cells that have lasted for 17 years.
As for delivering the vaccine orally, it's not just to avoid a needle poke. In fact, Dr. Soon-Shiong believes a combination of the two could be the key.
By giving a jab, you hope to develop T cells all around your body. And by giving it orally, we protect the mucous membranes, the gut, and hopefully the nose, the mouth, because that's how the virus comes in. It doesn't come in through your blood.
Now that Matt has completed his vaccine and boosters, he will undergo intensive monitoring for the next 12 months. He hopes his lead will encourage others to consider entering a trial.
The virus is mutating, so I hope that we have solutions.
Well, that's the end of that video. You see how he was saying that, this doctor is trying to create creating a cure for this C19 because it's the mutation and it's a T cell killer. How it goes along with the with the theme of the Resident Evil T cell virus. So I'm gonna get a scripture. This is Revelations 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down upon you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. That's that warp speed. They creating this, that the doctor, whoever this guy was, he's creating he's creating this cure for the C19, or alternate cure for the mutation under the umbrella. That's funny how that went together too. Umbrella, because the umbrella incorporation with the umbrella incorporation is for the Resident Evil, you know. But under the umbrella of the warp speed that Donald Trump passed, that thing of the warp speed that Donald Trump passed, that's what he said. They know that he had that the devil has come upon you. The devil, for the devil has come down unto you having great wrath, because he knows that he had but a short time. You know, and I want to get this also, Ecclesiasticus 12, also known as Sirach 12 and 10. It says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be plucked therewith, and be Salaki, and be pricked therewith. You know, and it also goes to verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or who should as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner, verse 14. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sin, who will pity? Basically, that's what it's. That's basically what it is. Nobody's gonna pity you if you let this you play with this serpent in his venom that he's gonna try to you know prick you with, be pricked there with, with it, what I'm saying, with this, for this C19, the so-called cure by injections. It was just funny that I found that out. Hope this video was edifying to the body of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And I'm gonna give double honors, double honors again to the elders at GMS that I learned this truth from, and the brothers with the like-minded doctrine. To the next time, Shalom and a ball. Salakia, I forgot to show this article for CDC article. Basically, it's talking about the zombie preparedness. I find it kind of strange, weird that they talking about a zombie, basically, zombie apocalypse. I just want to read it. What it says here, it says, wonder why zombie apocalypse, and zombie preparedness continue to live or walk dead on a CDC website as as it turns out, what first began as a tongue-in-check campaign to engage new audience with preparedness message has proven to be a very effective platform. We continue to reach and engage a wide variety of audience on all hazard preparedness via zombie preparedness. And I guess it goes down here tell you how to prepare for a so-called zombie apocalypse, zombie preparedness products. I just found it kind of weird, man. People out here trusting this and getting that's on that's your own choice, man. It's on the CDC website, Center for Preparedness and Response. I just wanted to share that. Shalom, shalom again, Akim. Barakatah, barakatah.